Welcome to Old Iron Machine Works. My name is Gary. This is just a little update video showing a little progress made on my K&T 2CH. I want to give a special thanks to Chuck at Outside Screwball. He mentioned my channel in one of his recent videos, and my subscription rate climbed considerably, and I thought that was very cool of him to do that. Chuck, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Here's a couple of the decals that Chuck sent me. I believe that one right there is one of his newest ones, and I'll be adding that one, and that's also one of his stickers. This next one, anybody that has seen my channel almost guaranteed has watches Ray's Garage. Anyway, I enjoy also watching his channel, and I asked him if I could get a couple stickers from him also, and he was gracious enough to send me a couple. Thank you, Ray. Another channel I also enjoy watching and subscribe to is Doug at Metalworks Machine Shop, and he was also kind enough. I reached out to see if I can get a couple stickers, and he was kind enough to send me some. Thank you, Doug. Now this next channel is kind of went to the dogs actually. Okay, with a little bit of humor there, or attempt at it. This is Tom at Hilltop Machine Works, and he's just got himself a puppy not too long ago, a little German Shepherd puppy, and it kind of seems like the puppy is kind of taking over and running the place. But anyway, I really enjoy watching Tom's channel, and he is pushing the 1,000 mark, which is very cool. You don't have too far to go, Tom. Anyway, thank you for sending me those. I figure since we're here, this cabinet here I bought years ago, and it's an old machinist cabinet, which I think is very cool. Everything swivels on one pin, and you can actually adjust them up and down. And in a few years after I bought this one, I picked up another similar one. You can tell made by the same manufacturer, exact same style, but I haven't seen any other ones out there, so I just thought they were kind of cool. Okay, this is the vertical, or should I say universal vertical head, that it came on a 2/8 that I bought some time ago, and I am going to put it on the 2CH, and I figure I'd go ahead and start stripping it down and paint it. I'm not sure what color I'm going to paint it, possibly maybe a black, or haven't quite decided yet. But anyway, just kind of cleaning it up and stripping it. On this section of the attachment, I did not want to run the pressure washer on the inside and have water forced in. So I just got a siphon solvent gun going and just kind of soaking it down with solvent, and later you get a little scraper and wire brush, and just kind of clean it up and blow it all off the solvent. Once I got the paint stripped off of this and started looking at it closer, you could see where that ear was either cracked, possibly broke off, right there, right at that 90-degree seam, is where they braced it up. They did a really nice job of bracing it up, so I won't do anything with it. All the original seating areas, are fine, so there are no alignment problems or anything. Here I'm using a little 3-inch diameter roll lock, 3M. They're little plastic fingers, and I have the green, yellow, and white that they make, and the different colors have a little bit different grit to them, and those little knobs, kind of wear down as you use them. But the really fine abrasive is right molded into the soft plastic. So the nice thing about that is you can polish and clean the metal parts really nice without having, any kind of sandy dust or anything in it that can cause a problem. And then I always like to have everything really dry when I'm doing it, because then you can blow everything off really good. You'll notice 2 little round pins right at the top of the gear, and what that is there's a grease fitting externally. So when the vertical head is attached, you can pump grease that goes into those tubes, and then those tubes have small drillings that go straight down right on the gear. So when it's actually on the machine, you can just pump grease, from the outside. You don't have to take it off the grease. Here I got a little Scotch-Brite wheel. I'll just use it for cleaning up the pockets that the vertical arms will slide into. Here's a better view of the repair where they braced it up. But you can see they did a really nice job. Where they filled it in, and you can see the little tooling marks from an end mill. But anyway, I have no problem with the repair. I think on the outside I'll do a little bit of grinding and blending and little filler, before I paint it, just to smooth it out a bit. Here I'm draining the old oil out of it, The oil was actually pretty clean. I just wanted to go ahead and service it, put some new oil in it. It held, I'm kind of guessing, about 4.5 gallons of oil. That's just in the main body. I forgot how much the knee held.
Well, I thought I'd do an update on the Trecker 2CH. My shop is a complete disaster right now. I need to regroup. But what I've done is, it was wired 440, so I was able to just pull the, I really like the adjustment on the belt, so I just pulled a bolt holding the motor, twisted the motor sideways where I could get, trying to be too shaky here, just kind of twisted the motor sideways where I could get to right there, you know, to switch from the high volt to low voltage. Stuff everywhere. It's time to regroup and clean up. I got rid of the big box that was on the back. It was all for the 440, and I just took the 220 off my 2H Kearney Trecker. Just kind of clean it up. I didn't want all the stuff on the back. That came out good. I went ahead and drained the oil. The oil looked great, but went ahead and put some clean oil in it. I have footage. I'll do a separate video on the head. It was all nice and painted gray. It was on my 2H, which I never did run. It was still hanging on the side. It had a home shop built parking attachment that held it, which they did a pretty good job, but they didn't go to the extra mile to make it look nice. So I'm doing a lot of welding and machining and grinding on it. I want it to look a little bit closer to original. Now this head here is a universal head, which means that this rotates in both directions and this rotates in both directions. A lot of them that you'll see, Keith Rucker's, a couple other ones, this just rotates in one direction this way. Keith Benner on his 2H, he has the universal head, probably the same as this one, and you can pretty much set any angle you want on him, which is very cool. On this particular CH, I only found one other one on YouTube, and I think it was the Train Man, or anyway, he had a 2CH. He had a vertical head, but once again, it wasn't a universal vertical head. Put everything, cleaned it all up. There was a repair done to this. When I got all the old paint off, somebody over tightened this clamp here, and they cracked and broke it. So it looks like a nice repair. On the inside, everything looks great. So I'm just gonna kind of clean it, Bondo a little bit before I paint it. I'm not gonna do much grinding. I'll leave what's there. But everything runs really nice and smooth. I went ahead and greased it up. The MonoLever one, like I was saying, is all it is a little hydraulic spool. So I mean, there's no effort at all, for the rapid traverse.
Here's a little clip showing my 2H with the manual clutch for the rapid traverse versus the MonoLever.
I'm not sure. Somebody made a comment on the Kearney Treckers that you had to be running the spindle to have the rapid traverse. On this particular one, I can turn the spindle off and everything still works. So anyway, let me bring you over here to this is a homemade phase converter I built years ago. It's a 15 horsepower motor that I dug out of the dumpster at work. And then I had a Lima Industry out of Crossville, Alabama, build me. I sent him the motor tag, and then he built me up a box for it. So far, it's still primer. I haven't even finished it, but I hope this isn't going to be too shaky. Okay, spindle's off. I wish my Bridgeport did this. But anyway, everything on the machine is working great. Well, I think it's time to regroup. I'm going to go outside and grind away a little bit on the parking attachment and get the cleaning up. This place is a mess. The mill is actually pretty well ready to go to work. I just want to get some tarps under it and pads and then just start scrubbing the heck out of it and pump all the old sump fluid out of it. And hopefully that's not going to be too awful bad shape.
Here's another tool I picked up right before winter set in, and pretty much just had to cover it up with a tarp, and hopefully I can find some room in the shop to put it. I don't think I'll do a restoration at this point. I think I'll just use it. This is the main bracket that bolts to the side of the mill that carries basically the vertical head, and it was all homemade by somebody. It was all flame torched, so I machined all the edges. Now, as you've seen here, just sanded the corner. But anyway, I'll have a separate video on just rebuilding the parking attachment. This past week, made a trip to the Bay Area to work at a landfill. We're starting to pick up more work for this company, and we were there to swap out a big gearbox. I got 2, maybe 3 gearboxes that I need to rebuild once I get to the shop. Here they are. They're about 4,000 pounds, and when they get so many hours on them, then they get swapped out, and we're going to start taking on the job, or should I say, I will start rebuilding these. All they are is a gearbox that speeds them up. Just takes the RPM of the engine and speeds it up slightly, about 19%. coming out that runs the generator. I did ask the operator if he would mind if I shot just a little video, you know, and he said, you know, yeah, he was okay with it. I also did a video not long ago of this job right here, Conrod job. I'm not sure which engine here these were out of, but those did go in one of these engines. Here's a couple universal compressors that I rebuilt both of these probably a couple years ago. And what these compressors do is they actually pump the run gas to the main engines. Those two, the blue ones, they were just a couple Quincy air compressors that just supplied air to the shop. One other note on the universal compressors, they're made in Germany, as well as the gearboxes are made in Germany. Alright, here we're back to work, heating up the hub. It is an interference fit, but as long as there's no birds or anything and heating it up, it pretty much slides right on. Here we got the new gearbox in place, and now just starting the alignment process before we start putting a ring of bolts in on the coupler. I actually showed this in another one of my videos, but I figured since I'm videoing the engine, I could show you exactly where it goes on the engine. But what they do is they wash out on the end there, and so he's been having me just roll a piece of thicker plate and then welded it up solid. And I think that's like number 5 that I've done. And they are part of the exhaust system. That is actually one of them that I have repaired right there. Here, getting it tied down for the drive home. The Bay Area traffic can be real bad. Well, here's the next morning at the shop, getting the gearbox unloaded. The gearbox doesn't look so big next to our big forklift. Anyway, I'll show you a peek of the bearings that go in the gearboxes. As you can see, they're there's some pretty good sized bearings. I just want to thank the guys that sent me the stickers, and I do want to give one more thank you to Chuck at Outside Screwball. Him mentioning my channel really did make a big difference, and I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all the new subscribers. I hope I can bring some content that is interesting to you guys. Thanks for watching and thanks for subscribing.